What sugar does, it causes quick highs and quick lows. So the heart is not getting its steady, consistent delivery of fuel. The hybridized wheat of today causes a blood sugar level rise higher than sugar. We looked at that when we looked at diabetes. So again, that's contributing to the quick highs, quick lows. And how many foods are those two together? There's the cakes, there's the donuts, there's the cookies, most cereals. It's a combination of those two.
3 years ago, I faced a health issue that forced me to change my diet permanently. Because of that experience, I had to figure out how to enjoy carbs without causing blood sugar spikes. Did you know that more than 50% of people struggle with managing their carbohydrate intake? I decided to challenge myself by eating high-carb foods like bread, rice, and potatoes for a week without experiencing a blood sugar spike. Today, I'll show you how to do the same, not so you can eat carbs all the time, but so that when you do, you can enjoy them without a sugar spike. In this video, we'll explore resistant starch and how simple cooking techniques can help you eat carbs without the sugar rush. You'll discover how certain methods can change your meals and keep your blood sugar stable. Plus, I'll share a quick tip on how a common ingredient can reduce the glycemic impact of rice by up to 40%. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from today? Drop a comment below and feel free to ask any questions you may have. Now, let's get started.
And it's the high carbohydrate diet that many people are eating today. Carbohydrate. I'm still mastering the art of saying one thing and writing another. So bread is very common. Cereal, there's a whole aisle devoted to cereal. And many people having bread and cereal for breakfast, by mid-morning they're wanting something else, so they reach for, and we're just going to say cakes, etc., because if we say everything, there's not enough room on the board for it. When you go into muffins and croissants and donuts and pasties and pies and pastry, etc., etc., etc. So we're just going to put etc. Also, pasta. I'm a fifth generation Australian Scottish descent. I didn't know what pasta and pizza was till I was about 18. So what did I grow up with? Sausages or chops, mashed potatoes, frozen peas or beans every single night of the week, except for Sunday when Mum would do a roast lamb. And everyone I knew ate like that. Our relatives ate like that, the neighbours ate like that. As a fifth generation Australian, I grew up in a little Presbyterian church. Everyone in the church ate like that. I came to the conclusion as a child that everyone in the whole world ate like that, but it's not quite true, is it? And when I was about 16, I had a boyfriend who was about 19, and he had a friend who was a vegetarian. I'd never heard of such a thing. Had never even heard of brown bread. So this was real traditional Australian. Rice, I'd never had rice. I don't think I went to a Chinese restaurant till I was about 18, and that's the first time I ate rice. Potatoes, well, we ate potatoes every meal. And last and certainly least in nutritive value is the pure crystallised acid extracted from the sugarcane plant. And as we have looked at this, we've also acknowledged that I don't think anyone chose to eat that way. It's just fast. It's just there. And we're such a fast society today. Here it is. And we showed how when all of these things break down in the body, they break down to the singular structure of glucose.
Our diets mainly consist of 3 types of food: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Each plays a different role in how our body functions, but today we're focusing on carbohydrates since they have the biggest effect on blood sugar levels. Carbohydrates come in many forms and are found in a wide range of foods. Some of the most common sources include potatoes, yams, rice, beans, bread, corn, bananas, mangoes, and sugar. These foods are essential in many diets worldwide, but if not managed properly, they can cause blood sugar to rise rapidly. Now let's take a closer look at why these foods impact blood sugar. Most carbohydrate-rich foods contain something called starch. Starch is a complex carbohydrate, which means it's made up of multiple glucose molecules linked together in long chains. Think of it like a pearl necklace, where each pearl represents a glucose molecule. The way these glucose units are arranged affects how quickly our bodies convert them into sugar. When we eat starchy foods like potatoes or bread, our digestive system breaks down these chains into individual glucose molecules in a process called digestion. This glucose then enters the bloodstream, raising blood sugar levels. However, not all starches work the same way. There is a unique type called resistant starch, which, as the name suggests, resists digestion. Instead of being broken down in the stomach and small intestine, it moves through to the large intestine, where it is fermented by beneficial gut bacteria. This process produces short-chain fatty acids that can help regulate blood sugar, improve digestion, and even provide a slow, steady source of energy. Understanding how different carbohydrates affect blood sugar is key to managing your diet effectively. By choosing the right types of carbs and preparing them in a way that enhances their benefits, such as increasing resistant starch, you can enjoy these foods without the sharp blood sugar spikes that can lead to long-term health problems. How your body processes starch. When you eat starchy foods like potatoes, a complex process takes place inside your body. Let's go through this step by step to better understand how these everyday foods affect our health, especially our blood sugar levels. First, when you consume a potato or any starchy food, digestion starts right in your mouth. Saliva does more than just help with swallowing. It contains enzymes, mainly amylase, which begin breaking down starch molecules into smaller components, including a sugar called maltose. This first step is essential because it sets the stage for further digestion later on. Once you swallow, the partially broken down food moves to your stomach, where it's exposed to a highly acidic environment. Interestingly, the acid in your stomach temporarily stops the starch digestion process, since amylase, the enzyme from your saliva, doesn't function well in such an acidic setting. The most important phase happens when the food leaves your stomach and enters your small intestine. Here, secretions from the pancreas help create a more alkaline environment. The pancreas plays a key role by releasing not only bicarbonate, which neutralizes stomach acid, but also additional digestive enzymes, including a fresh supply of amylase. This second wave of amylase continues the work started in your mouth, further breaking down the remaining starch into simpler sugars like maltose. Finally, these disaccharides are converted into glucose, the simplest form of sugar, by other enzymes located on the surface of the small intestine. It is this glucose that gets absorbed through the walls of the small intestine into your bloodstream. Once in circulation, glucose serves as the main energy source for your cells, but it can also create challenges for those with insulin sensitivity or diabetes. The rise in blood glucose prompts your pancreas to release insulin, a hormone that signals cells to take in glucose and use it for energy. Like many processes in the body, insulin helps regulate blood sugar levels, keeping them within a safe range. However, in conditions like type 2 diabetes, the body's response to insulin is weakened, leading to consistently high blood sugar levels that can have long-term health consequences. Understanding how starch is processed in the body allows us to make smarter food choices and adjust how we prepare our meals. Selecting starches that break down more slowly or undergo minimal processing can help regulate blood sugar levels more effectively. When it comes to blood sugar management, recognizing the differences between various types of starch is essential. Let's look at the two main types that impact our health: regular starch and resistant starch. Regular starch. This is the most common type of starch found in foods like white bread, most potatoes, and white rice. It is rapidly broken down by enzymes in the digestive system, releasing glucose into the bloodstream almost immediately. This fast breakdown can cause blood sugar spikes, which over time may put stress on the body's ability to regulate glucose properly, increasing the risk of insulin resistance or diabetes. Resistant starch, Unlike regular starch, resistant starch behaves more like dietary fiber. It isn't digested in the small intestine and instead moves to the colon, where it serves as food for beneficial gut bacteria. The bacteria ferment this starch, producing short-chain fatty acids that offer multiple health benefits, including better gut health and improved insulin sensitivity, which helps keep blood sugar levels stable. How foods are prepared can significantly influence the type of starch they contain, which in turn affects their impact on blood sugar levels. A fascinating example is seen with foods rich in resistant starch, such as potatoes and rice. When these foods are cooked and then cooled in the refrigerator, the cooling process alters the starch structure. This change converts some of the regular starch into resistant starch through a process known as retrogradation. The new bonds formed during cooling are more difficult for digestive enzymes to break down, meaning less glucose is released into the bloodstream. The benefits go even further. If you reheat these foods after cooling them, the resistant starch content increases even more. This means that by simply cooking, cooling, and then reheating foods like potatoes and rice, you can significantly boost their resistant starch levels. Research has found that this method can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 40%, making it an effective strategy for better blood sugar control. Eating foods rich in resistant starch can significantly influence your body's insulin sensitivity. What does this mean for your health? Insulin is a hormone that helps your body use glucose from the bloodstream. When insulin functions properly, it lowers blood sugar levels after meals and ensures that your cells receive the energy they need. However, in many individuals, particularly those who consume a diet high in processed carbohydrates and low in fiber, insulin sensitivity can decline. This condition, known as insulin resistance, means your body requires more insulin to regulate blood glucose levels, which, if unmanaged, can lead to type 2 diabetes. Resistant starch can help counteract this issue by nourishing beneficial gut bacteria and improving gut health. It triggers changes that enhance your body's response to insulin. Regular consumption of foods high in resistant starch can improve blood sugar regulation, preventing sudden spikes and drops that may be harmful in the long run. This leads to more stable blood sugar levels and potentially lowers the risk of diabetes and other metabolic conditions. To maximize the benefits of resistant starch, meal planning becomes a crucial strategy. Meal planning isn't just about choosing what to eat, it also involves preparing food in a way that enhances the health benefits of the ingredients. In the US, we developed a meal planning guide to help with this. One effective approach is using heating and cooling techniques to increase resistant starch content in foods like potatoes, rice, and pasta. And here's a simple process to follow. 1. Cook, boil, or bake starchy foods as you normally would. For example, boil rice until it's fluffy, or cook potatoes until they're soft. 2. Once cooked, allow these foods to cool down and store them in the refrigerator for at least 12 hours. This cooling period allows the starch to retrograde, converting digestible starch into resistant starch. 3. Reheating before eating is optional, but it can further boost the amount of resistant starch. If you prefer warm food, reheating is perfectly fine and won't reduce the resistant starch content. Here's a useful tip for those who love rice. Before we dive in, drop healthy rice in the comments. Now let's talk about rice. When cooking it, try adding coconut oil to the boiling water. This simple step can significantly increase the formation of resistant starch in the rice. Once the rice is cooked, let it cool down, then store it in the refrigerator overnight. The cooling process alters the starch structure, making it more resistant to digestion. As a result, less glucose is released into your bloodstream, leading to a lower glycemic impact when you eat the rice the following day. Beverages that influence blood sugar. Your beverage choices can play a role in regulating blood sugar levels. Here are 3 types with different effects. 1. Lemon or lime juice. These citrus juices contain acids that slow down the enzymes responsible for breaking down starches in your digestive system. By reducing starch breakdown, they limit glucose release, helping to prevent blood sugar spikes. 2. Vinegar. Like citrus juice, vinegar also inhibits enzymes that break down starches. Additionally, it enhances glucose uptake by muscles, lowering blood sugar more effectively. This combination makes vinegar, especially apple cider vinegar, a strong tool for managing blood sugar levels. 3. Wine. While wine can cause a temporary drop in blood sugar by affecting liver metabolism, it is not a reliable method for blood sugar control. Alcohol can have unpredictable effects and may disrupt liver function, particularly in how it processes fats and proteins. Using vinegar for blood sugar control. Apple cider vinegar is particularly useful for regulating blood sugar. When raw and unfiltered, it contains the MABA, a cobweb-like substance packed with beneficial enzymes, proteins, and bacteria. The antioxidants from the apples in vinegar contribute to overall health, making apple cider vinegar a valuable addition to your diet. Cloves as a natural way to manage blood sugar. Cloves, known for their bold flavor, can help regulate blood sugar naturally. These aromatic spices are not just for holiday desserts. They contain eugenol, an active compound studied for its potential to lower glucose levels and improve insulin sensitivity. Adding cloves to your diet is both simple and beneficial. You can start by sprinkling ground cloves into your morning tea or coffee. Another option is to use whole or crushed cloves in stews and marinades, enhancing both the taste and health benefits. To make clove tea, you'll need 1 teaspoon of ground cloves or 4 to 5 whole cloves, 1 cup of boiling water, honey or lemon for taste, optional. If using whole cloves, lightly crush them to release their oils. Add the cloves, either ground or whole, to boiling water and let them steep for 8 to 10 minutes, allowing the flavors and beneficial compounds to infuse. Strain the tea, add honey or lemon if desired, but be mindful of sugar content if you're managing blood sugar levels. This tea is best enjoyed first thing in the morning or after meals to help support stable blood sugar levels. Using cloves in cooking. 1. Mix ground cloves into spice blends for meat rubs or marinades. This not only enhances the taste, but also supports blood sugar regulation. 2. Add whole cloves to rice dishes like biryani or pilaf. Be sure to remove them before serving, as their strong flavor can be overwhelming if eaten whole. 3. Incorporate cloves into baked goods, especially in breads, muffins, or desserts that use blood sugar-friendly ingredients like almond flour or coconut sugar. 4. Cloves as a seasoning. Sprinkle ground cloves onto oatmeal or yogurt. Add a pinch to smoothies or shakes. Combine ground cloves with cinnamon and nutmeg for a blood sugar-friendly spice mix that works well in different dishes. I still remember when my friend Cecilia decided to try the coconut oil rice method. She often struggled with energy crashes after meals, especially when she enjoyed her favorite jollof rice. One weekend, she followed the steps, letting the rice cool overnight in the fridge as recommended. The next day, she reheated it and paired it with a light vegetable stir-fry. To her surprise, she felt satisfied and full, but didn't experience the usual post-meal slump. Over the following weeks, she kept using this technique and noticed that her cravings for snacks later in the day had decreased. Now it's her preferred way to prepare rice, and she swears it has helped her feel more in control of her blood sugar and energy levels. Sometimes small adjustments can make a big difference. If you're ready to give this a shot, type "rice reset" in the comments and share your experience. Alcohol considerations. While some studies suggest that moderate wine consumption may benefit heart health, relying on alcohol to manage blood sugar is not recommended. Alcohol can interfere with liver function and cause fluctuations in blood sugar levels, making diabetes management more challenging and increasing the risk of long-term liver damage. Pre-meal strategies. Before eating, consider drinking a small amount of water mixed with lemon or lime juice or vinegar. This can slow digestion, helping to prevent sudden spikes in blood sugar. Additionally, starting your meal with a fiber-rich appetizer, such as a salad or leafy greens, can further slow glucose absorption and enhance overall satiety. It's also important to balance your meal components for better blood sugar control. Avoid consuming carbohydrates alone. Pair them with proteins, fats, or fiber-rich foods to slow glucose release. For instance, an egg sandwich is a great option. The protein and fat from the egg help offset the impact of the bread's carbohydrates. After meal strategies, taking a light walk or engaging in gentle movement can be very effective. Physical activity helps lower blood sugar by enhancing insulin sensitivity and allowing muscles to absorb more glucose. If you decide to have a snack later, go for something low in sugar but high in protein or healthy fats, such as cheese with nuts or vegetables with hummus. These options help keep blood sugar levels steady. I have a colleague, Mark, who was always looking for ways to balance his meals. One day, he shared a simple habit that completely changed how I approached eating. Before meals, he would drink a small glass of water with lemon or apple cider vinegar. Curious, I asked him why, and he explained that it helped stabilize his blood sugar and prevented those dreaded post-lunch energy crashes. Intrigued, I gave it a try. I found that adding this small step to my routine, along with a fiber-rich salad before meals, kept me full longer and stopped me from reaching for sugary snacks in the afternoon. If you're interested in trying this pre-meal trick, type healthy hacks in the comments. Let's see how it works for you. That's all for today. Now you know how to enjoy carbs without the usual blood sugar spikes by using resistant starch and simple cooking adjustments. If this was helpful, like and subscribe for more health tips. Have you tried any of these methods? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next video.